whip, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Here it comes.
Yeah, baby. Hey, everybody, it's your boy Jay Rich. You know me, Spider-Man all day, every day. I'm here with
Mike Reyes, part of THS and Mike vs. Mike.
And Phoenix of Mercy, a friend of the brand and the man.
Fan of the Man.
I said friend, not fan.
That's a really big difference.
That is a big
I said
difference.
friend of the brand and man.
A friend that's a fan of the
I
brand.
can't even
That's
say
the
that.
man with a
I
plan
can't
and a
say that.
canal.
I can't say that. Yeah.
Anyway, Spider-Man Brand New Day happened, and we actually got to see an early press. But you knew
It was very
it was well. So the whole thing
super
was
secret. Like,
when
they
we
didn't
were-
have any signage out. Normally, they got the whole displays for us.
the whole thing is when we were standing around at the Odyssey, we were some of the other critics were like, "Yeah, we asked," and they said we're not getting a screening of that, so we were not planning on it at all. And then they just happened to announce that the day after San Diego Comic-Con was done, they were doing a screening. But I didn't care because even if I slept through the whole weekend in San Diego, I was still going to do this.
You got it then? I got
No,
it.
I didn't see it. I'm just saying,
Oh.
after covering a whole weekend of San Diego Comic-Con, I wasn't just going to sleep at home and not see this. I slept during the day to do this.
I was going. They hit me up. I was like, yes, I'll be there twice. All right, so real quick.
You're not a fan at all?
No, my kids aren't named after Spider-Man, and they don't have an Uncle Ben or anything.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Shut up, Miles and Parker.
Yeah, Miles and Parker,
fan.
I love you guys. All right.
Everyone loves you guys.
Yeah, right?
You're
All
awesome.
right, so check it out. I want you to say what you guys say first. I'm going to give you this one so you can say your piece.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I'll come back.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with ladies first. I think I went first on Supergirl.
Oh, great.
So
All right.
please.
All right. So as a long-time fan of Spider-Man and someone who grew up with the movies and the comics, I grew up with Spider-Man, and I feel like this movie really encapsulates the fact that he is growing up and becoming as much of himself, both as Peter Parker and as Spider-Man, as he possibly can be. The analogy within a few of the scenes that we're talking about this life cycle of a spider and them transitioning into an adult period. Obviously, he's already an adult. However, he is truly becoming the best version of himself he can be. He is taking the teachings from those who have changed him and shaped him into who he is today, the morals and beliefs and values that he has, and he is going to do great things. And that was very emotional for me. I had an amazing time with this movie. I thought it was a very different type of emotional for a Marvel movie that I've seen. I think the only other movie that kind of came close was Endgame. But I would love to see more of this. I would love to see more of that emotion, more of that in-depth relationship style presentation within like the next few movies, if that is possible. Very glad I got to see it, especially before the release. It's such an honor. And I'm glad that I was invited by this one. This is the first premiere that I've been to, and this is, I feel like, the best one that I could have gone to.
No, I definitely want to piggyback on what you said because this feels as transitional as an Endgame sort of thing,
Yeah.
but it is character transitional,
Yes.
and we're not always getting that. And when we do, sometimes it's something like Thor Ragnarok or Thor Love and
Right.
Thunder where it does not work. I noticed the maturing of Peter Parker when you heard his voice in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, you're sort of used to like a little bit of the creek and like, oh, well, yeah, but this was just very sort of grounded tones. Like he still had the New York accent. He got a little more excited.
He
at
does
times.
have more of a New York accent in this, and I noticed that right away. It was
especially when he's with Uncle Frank.
Yes.
Because
They
it's just
bounce off each other.
the fact
Can't go into too many.
the fact that Tom Holland has real life relationships with Zendaya and with John Barenthal,
Yes.
I think enhances this as opposed to, it's just the same friends kind of hanging out. And it's like,
Right.
we're doing this stuff together because, we like each other.
And that absolutely adds to the emotion of the movie. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
does.
Especially with him and Barenthal because they're both fantastic in the Odyssey together.
Yeah.
But then they're both fantastic in here for similar reasons, different reasons, because there's really more of a mentorship here versus Odyssey. But then I love Zendaya, but I feel like Zendaya. Sorry, I love Zendaya. I am sorry, Zendaya. Tom, don't hurt me, please. I love Zendaya. I love the performances that she's given this year because you've got opposite Christopher Nolan with the Odyssey. You've got Daniel Destin Cretton with Spider-Man.
Yes.
And that's another thing. It's remember when they used to snap up all the indie directors and it's like we just want cred, and then they would like hamper them down, like Nia DaCosta and the Marvels. That was not her fault, and you all know that, but we're not going to go into that conversation. Daniel was allowed to have his vision, and this felt like a movie of his, and especially with the Shang-Chi connection, where it's like it's not shoehorned in. It still feels good, and he knows how to make a really good Shang-Chi movie. But he also knows how to make just a real good movie. This isn't an overload of action set pieces.
Exactly,
it's not an overload of Easter eggs as to what's coming next. But there's some pretty big stuff that does lead into things that they can't talk about right now. They're going to announce stuff tomorrow, okay? By the time this goes up, it's probably going to be announced. Because they have to, because they're probably going to do that to cover other things up, but neither here nor there. Point is,
I just don't want to get in trouble again.
This is a better place setter.
Spoilers.
I think this may be a better place setter than Doomsday. Because
Really?
I'm looking at the trailers for Doomsday, I'm not feeling anything.
I'm excited for Doomsday just because of the emotional aspect.
Yeah. Take it easy.
But I'm not getting those emotions because I feel it's way too early, and the fact that they're reskinning from the Kang Dynasty to this, but we'll see. I stand to be corrected, but Spider-Man: Brand New Day is more personal, less bombast, and I think they brought out some of the finest acting in all of the leads. I love seeing Tromble Tillman here. I always love seeing Tromble Tillman, and this is a vindication for Marvel, and I am very excited to see what happens next. My only minor gripe was there is a part of this movie that you could move to the very end,
right,
and then change some things. It's a minor tweak, but it does not kill the movie. I loved it.
All right.
As you can see, he hated it. Look at his face. That's a face of pure hatred.
I absolutely loved this movie. Out of the MCU official Spider-Man movies, this is the best one. This one is the one that felt like such a comic book. It felt like I was reading the comic books, watching the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
This was close to Raimi. This is probably the closest to like a Raimi Spider-Man movie we've gotten in a while.
Yeah, and the action was dope because wasn't that Jackie Chan's stunt team that worked on? I think they worked on the action scenes for this movie. I just think it was done really well. A lot of not just cameos that were like cameos for cameo's sake. They were like cool cameos. Then there was a lot of I wouldn't even call these cameos, but more nods to the history of Spider-Man, because there's so many shots that are paying homage to the classic comic covers. And if you're a real Spider-Man fan, you're going to be like, oh, that's issue this. Oh, that's issue that.
Well, even just the fact that he's superior. It's
there's so many little things that are going on in this movie that it felt like a high quality comic book movie. This is what I've wanted, and this is up there with not Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2.1. And if you really know your Spider-Man, you know what Spider-Man 2.1 is.
Break out a DVD, folks.
This is my jam. I could watch this every day. I mean, that used to be a thing where I would, anytime a Spider-Man movie came out, I watched it every day for a month. I had connections, so I was able to do that. But this is one of those movies where I'd happily do that. It was a solid movie as a standalone Spider-Man movie, and that's the difference from all the other ones. That's why I like Spider-Man 2, because that one felt like such a complete Spider-Man story. This is a complete Spider-Man story, and it gives you so much. It is a true comic book movie. Just a lot of feeling from the Marvel universe.
Now here's a question for
I love it so much.
Now here's a question for the two of you. How do you feel it compares to the Spider-Verse movies? Because I would say right now, those are probably the best Spider-Man movies at the moment.
I separate that. As a person who's worked on live action, who's worked on animation, those are two different worlds that come with two different sets of problems, and you're given different limitations with animation. Like with certain contracts, you have only but a certain amount of time. Like you can only have a certain runtime.
Yeah.
DC used to have that with their animated movies. It had to be 75 minutes because when it gets translated to TV, that was enough time for commercial spots on Cartoon Network and
Yeah,
stuff
that's a
like
solid 2-hour block right there.
Right. So, like, there's all these weird limitations. So I always keep them separate. But when it comes to the live action, boy.
So I guess it really depends on if you're asking the question more about the writing and dialogue and the script, or if you're asking about the cinematography of it.
Oh no, I meant genuine. Yeah, but we'll go with the writing and the script. Yeah,
Right.
like
So the writing and the script, I feel like this specific Spider-Man movie was a lot more in tune and intrinsically tied with the Spider-Verse in the way that it is written. Not because the Spider-Verse is written into it, but because it has, I feel a lot more of the general theming that you see in the animated movies. It has a lot more of those callbacks to the original goal and passions of Spider-Man as a whole, which you see in the comics, which you see in the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I feel like this kind of pays homage to that really well. And one thing about that I really like is I used to watch The Amazing Spider-Man all the time when I was younger, and in a lot of the action shots, I feel like you can really see the influence from the first couple of movies. I thought that was wonderful. But again, I do find that the animated movies and this do kind of hold very true to that. Spider-Man is Spider-Man for a reason. And I feel like they really brought it back with this one, because I can't say that they necessarily lost that plot with the last three movies, but it kind of strayed away a lot.
I really felt like it did sort of dial down in quality with Far From Home and No Way Home, which both were fantastic villain work.
Right.
But
and they were good movies as movies.
They were great movies, but this is
as a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a Spider-Man movie for the comic fans and the cartoon fans in live action. Fight me.
I don't think anyone's gonna fight you. I think they all agree.
Hold me back.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. My channel now.
Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm in these streets. All right, check it out, though. All the links and all that to follow everybody here is going to be down below. And, all that stuff. Like, subscribe, all that craziness. And don't forget, help a brother out.